So hi friends, this video is about certain questions which were actually marked wrong in your test and discussion that you have given a couple of days back post class of orthopedics. Okay, so while I was searching for the wrong questions or answers in that database, these are a few which I came across, and if there is any other than these ones, please let me know and we can discuss that too. Okay, so the first one was the all are the clinical tests for anterior dislocation of the shoulder except, so we have to go for except ones, right? So this is the answer given to you in the answer key. Okay, so what they said that Dugas is one which is not done. It is not right, right? Dugas is the one test which is done for anterior dislocation of the shoulder. We discussed that the patient will not be able to touch the opposite shoulder. And Coway's, what was that Coway's? Coway's is that when the vertical circumference of axilla is increased. Hamilton ruler test is the one where we put a scale on the outer side of shoulder and it touches the acromion as well as the lateral condyle at the same time. The one which is not done is actually jerk test, right? So I hope everybody marks jerk test, right? That is more specific for the posterior dislocation of the shoulder, and that can be done for many other joints also. Okay, so correct answer here will be jerk test instead of Dugas as mentioned in your answer book. Number two, all are the clinical tests for carpal tunnel syndrome except which one? So you know that the most specific test is Phalen's test, right? Phalen's was what? When the patient is asked to flex both the wrists like this, and there is a further compression of the median nerve leading to the symptoms. Tunnel sign we have discussed in the class. What is a tunnel sign? Percussion on the course of the nerve, right? So where is the entrapment site here? Flexor retinaculum. So we keep on compressing here. Okay. Tourniquet test, what was that? You just apply a BP apparatus cuff and you inflate the mercury column. When the pressure increases in the column, in the limb, again the symptoms of carpal tunnel will be seen. Okay, this one Finkelstein is actually the answer. Correct answer is Finkelstein, which is not for carpal tunnel. And why we do Finkelstein? It is done for two tendons, inflammation at base of the thumb. What were those? Abductor pollicis longus and extensor pollicis brevis. Condition is known as, you all know, I suppose that, de Quervain stenosynovitis. Okay, so Finkelstein is not for carpal tunnel, it is for de Quervain stenosynovitis. Next one, the triple deformity as a sequel of tuberculosis osteomyelitis are due to contractures of. Now understand this, we are getting two options here. One, TFL, which exaggerates the deformity. One, hamstring, which first produces the deformity. Okay, so if both the options are given to you, the better answer would be to go for hamstrings, because it is a contracture of hamstring muscles, especially the biceps femoris, which produces the typical triple deformity of the knee, which then clinically is increased or clinically seen after the deformity has been increased by TFL. Okay, so our better answer would be hamstrings. It is not good to keep both the option in the same question. Better is to keep any one of them, either TFL or hamstring. If both are given to us, we'll go with the hamstrings. Okay, and if both are not given, obviously we have to go with TFL. So best answer here to choose the triple deformity, the reason for it is hamstring. And if they ask you that what is the reason for increase or exaggerated triple deformity of the knee, it remains your TFL contracture. Okay, that is because of iliotibial band, through the iliotibial band. Now, most specific antibody seen in rheumatoid arthritis, which one? So as per the answer given to you, it says NTCCP is incorrect. No, that is basically the most specific antibody for rheumatoid arthritis, that is anti-citrullinase cyclic peptide. This rheumatoid factor is not the specific antibody for rheumatoid arthritis because it is not present in all the cases. Then what is the role of this rheumatoid? We discussed the level of rheumatoid, it correlates with the disease activity. If the disease is actively destroying the joints, then the level would remain high. You will find the levels high in the blood. But when you have started the medical management, when the disease progression is slowing down, then levels of rheumatoid factor will automatically slow down. Okay, so NTCCP remains the best answer here when you talk about the most specific antibody for rheumatoid, right? So the ligament which is injured the most in an ankle sprain. Now answer given to you in the question bank in the test is deltoid, which is incorrect actually. Deltoid is located on medial side, and most common mechanism injury around the ankle, it is inversion. So when there is an inversion, the under surface of the sole will be seen on medial side, so stress will be on the lateral side, right? So you were right when you marked the answer as ATFL. Okay, so most commonly injured ligament around the ankle, it remains your anterior talofibular ligament, followed by calcaneofibular ligament. This spring ligament basically is around the sole, medial side of the sole, making the arch, right? So it is not injured so easily around the ankle area. Okay, so most commonest ligament to injure around the ankle remains your ATFL. Next one was Ignis-Hunt traction is used for trochanteric fracture. That is what it was given. No, that is not right. We had discussed in the chapter topic of infections, tubercular hip, that there was a difference in, somebody asked me, flexion deformity of the hip and fixed flexion deformity of the hip. So when the deformity is not fixed, then we can use Ignis-Hunt traction. Okay, so this Ignis-Hunt is used for the flexion deformity of the hip and not for the trochanteric fractures, right? Ignis-Hunt for flexion deformity of the hip, usually in infective conditions like tubercular arthritis. Okay, next question is about the high tibial osteotomy, and I hope you remember what was high tibial osteotomy. It was one of the treatment option of OA of knee. So what they are asking is the appropriate criteria for proceeding with the HTO in a case of OA knee includes the following except. That means all of the given options allow you to go for high tibial osteotomy except, okay, the first one is age more than 65. Now this first point, the age more than 65, you have to remain very vigilant. Okay, so we don't try to do HTO in every case, but they have to be the selective ones. But yes, that can be done in selective ones. Isolated Hellback grade 1 or 2, okay, can be done in grade 1 and 2, but point is it is on lateral compartmental arthrosis. And we discussed, while discussing the high tibial osteotomy, we discussed that when the OA involves the lateral compartment, it becomes a contraindication for high tibial osteotomy. So this one is not incorrect actually, this is our answer. This is the answer. When more than 90 degree of motion of the knee is present, that means it is an indication, you can go for it, right? It's not an indication, but it is a it is something, the position of the knee should be like that, the contracture, if it is present, should be less than 15 to 20, and patient should be able to move the knee more than 90 degrees, right? If either of the two condition is failed, again that was a contraindication to go for HTO. So best answer remains here is this one, which involves the lateral compartmental arthrosis. So we don't go for a high tibial osteotomy when the compartment involved is on the lateral side. HTO is reserved for the OA on the medial side of the knee joint. Then we have earliest sign of tuberculosis in hip X-ray. We discussed that it starts with the erosions, right, which are very minimal, rarefactions. You are not able to actually appreciate the normal bone and the inflamed or the erosion of the bone. Second stage of the tuberculosis of the hip was the one which shows you periarticular osteopenia, right, or the periarticular osteoporosis, that is blackening of the bone. So the earliest sign remains this one, osteopenia or porosis, instead of narrowing of the joint space, because you know that narrowing of the joint space will be seen in third stage, isn't it? That is what we have discussed. And this one, periarticular osteopenia or osteoporosis, we are simply calling it, it is seen in the second stage of tuberculosis of the hip. So better answer remains your periarticular osteoporosis. Okay, so these are the few ones which I could actually gather from the question bank. And if you have any more queries, anything else you want to ask for it, and any other question if I'm missing, because this I found out, these 9-10 questions I found out from the database, please feel free to message me here on the WhatsApp number given to you on the screen, right? So these are the corrections, no need to worry about the wrong one given in the app, you mark them correctly. That was a better point, and I'm glad that you send me the messages that in the test and discussion certain answers were wrong. Okay, so that's good, and it's a good sign that you were more confident about your answers instead of the ones given in the answer book, right? But from the next time, obviously, if there is any test, we'll be more vigilant with the answer key so that it doesn't give you trouble. And there is no point in lacking confidence. You were right with your answers, and the wrong ones we have already discussed. Okay, so that is all I have for the correction part. If you come across any other, please let me know, right? Thank you so much.